Very, very high level of tension in the crowd, and certainly in those locker rooms, Jerry, before the game. They were really, really quiet, tension-filled places, and understandably.
Don, I really think you can get the feel if you watch the 76ers as they're introduced. I have never seen this much emotion from a team at this stage of a playoff. They're in a mini-series. They're really up for this game. They think they can win it.
Well, Buffalo, of course, is greatly encouraged by the return of John Shoemate, who, as we know, suffered that very serious injury Friday night, was checked out by a neurosurgeon, got a clean bill of health last night. He is going to be playing after a day in the hospital, got about 6 stitches over his left eye, but he's ready to go, and he apparently is going to start the game.
I think what it will do for Buffalo is give another player that they can use in there, but also lets Buffalo use John Shoemate in the middle, which is really his position. Lets McAdoo free to roam outside on offense, also free to roam inside on defense where he can be effective in blocking shots.
We are set to go. There's the Buffalo Braves huddle around their head coach, Jack Ramsey. He first gained prominence as a basketball coach here at St. Joe College in Philadelphia. And you look now at how they match up. A lot of the people involved in this game think the key matchup today is going to be not only McGinnis and Shoemate, but Mix and McMillan. When Jim McMillan is playing a good all-around game and getting the ball, Buffalo's awful tough. Catchings and McAdoo. Catchings a defensive player. McAdoo, of course, the premier scorer in the league. And then the backcourt, great quickness. Doug Collins and Fred Carter for the 76ers. And for the Buffalo Braves, Randy Smith and Ken Charles. Jack Ramsey sends his team out, and we're set to go. This is the third and deciding game of this series. The winner to go on against the Boston Celtics. There are your officials, Jake O'Donnell and Manny Sokol, with Huey Evans, the alternate. They're going to be going flat out for 48 minutes. The whole season is on the line, and this is the 85th game of the year for both teams. 82 regular season games, and now this third playoff game of the qualifying round. Harvey Catchings, the Philadelphia center, has been a very invaluable player. He doesn't score many points, but he does so many things so well, particularly plays defense. They think he's a key. Buffalo comes right out quickly, works the good play backdoor, and it's Jim McMillan down the baseline of the court, and the Braves jump out to a quick 2-0 advantage.
Coach Jack Ramsey said you're going to see their guards pick up Philadelphia's guards up very high because they want to force McGinnis to get the ball out deeper to start his move.
Carter looking for the lane, shut off by Ken Charles, and now as he starts to go up, Fred Carter is called for a travel, and the ball turns over to the Buffalo Braves. We are at the outset of the game as the Braves, with the home court not yet prevailing in this series. In fact, that game you saw yesterday, Cleveland and Washington, was the first time in the Eastern playoffs that the home team has won when the Cavaliers beat Washington. Tapped up, no good. The rebound is swept down by Harvey Catchings. Randy Smith at 6'3" was way up over everybody but couldn't get the tip. And now, the ball on the outside, Shoemate starting the game and playing against him. He's got to play McGinnis very aggressively when he does not have the ball, because once he gets it, he can get the shot. And now, foul inside, as these officials will have to be ruling a very tight game to keep it from getting out of hand. Every playoff game, as you know, is so aggressive, but particularly when the whole season's on the line like today.
I think particularly inside, because these teams have big players inside, and they need that consistent officiating inside early.
Harvey Catchings goes down low and gets the first point of the game for the 76ers. And now as Randy Smith takes it the distance, lays the ball off glass for 2 points, the basket will go. There's a foul on the play.
Well, you're talking about the early in the show, just what they were trying to do inside. Here it's Philadelphia on the last play, just a pick and roll on the inside. Defenses have to be ready and alert for that play.
Randy Smith at the free throw line now for the Buffalo Braves. Averaging 19 points a game in the playoff series, averaged over 20 points a game during the regular season. He has not shot well in the late stretches of the regular season and throughout the playoffs. Here is Doug Collins on the outside as the 2 lead. McGinnis starts to the basket. Here is a whistle and a foul call. It'll go against Shoemate. Basket disallowed, foul prior to the shot.
You know, the first ball game that they played here in Philadelphia, John Shoemate did a very fine job on George McGinnis, and then, of course, McGinnis exploded with the big ball game in Buffalo to put that game away for the 76ers. But if you'll notice this ball game, notice how aggressive the Buffalo guards are outside. They're really on the Philadelphia guards.
George McGinnis does not get the roll. Ken Charles at 6'3" takes down the rebound and leads the breakdown for Buffalo. On the outlet on the right side, Captain Jim McMillan firing up from 18 feet away, and McMillan gives the Braves a 7-2 lead. As Buffalo moves out quickly to a 5-point advantage, Gene Shue and the 76ers want to talk this thing over. Buffalo playing a very planned game. You see how they're attacking the 76ers. They are looking to run, and they're getting that man down low before the Sixers can revert to defense. Philadelphia's problem this year has been the defense. Their coach, Gene Shue, said a lot of times, we played the Matador defense this year, just waved them on by.
Welcome back to the NBA's greatest game.
It is a 12-11 game. The 76ers with a 1-point lead. Lou pass goes into Catchings. Down low, it's wide open. McGinnis posted down low against McAdoo, and here's George McGinnis fading away. Shoemate goes to the moon to get the ball, but can't hold down, and the Sixers will bring it in from beneath their own basket.
If you can watch where George McGinnis will catch the ball, he'll catch the ball in deep and try to face inside real quick to make the quick move to the basket.
Catchings with the offensive rebound and the roll, and the Philadelphia 76ers take a 3-point lead. It is 14-11. We're in the first quarter, 6:10 to play in it. Randy Smith outside. Carter looking flicking his head to either side, see if there's room to drive. Randy Smith has it as he takes a hard rap from Steve Mix, but there was a foul call prior to that on Fred Carter. That's his first one.
One thing I think Buffalo will try to do in this ball game with Randy Smith particularly, if Fred Carter's matched against him the whole game, I really feel that maybe Randy Smith can drive by Carter and break down the defense, either get to the free throw line or lay it off to Bob McAdoo for an easy shot inside.
They got that going early at the outset. They got it down low, it was open. Now it is a 14-13 game. The 76ers with a 1-point lead on the basketball. Carter goes to McGinnis. Cut off nicely by McAdoo, who stepped in the way. He was looking to drive. Doug Collins looks to go down the lane against Randy Smith. Fred Carter gets the ball out, and again we have a pushing match inside. Here's a foul call. Basket count.
I'll tell you one thing. If I were a little guy, I would very surely stay out from under the basket. If you look under the basket, they are absolutely hammering each other under there.
Harvey Catchings will go to the free throw line as the personal foul on the play was on Bob McAdoo. That's his first one. Both teams in the penalty situation. And the 76ers lead by 4, 17-13. We have 5:43 first quarter. Randy Smith looks to the outside. McAdoo almost loses the ball. Good hands at 6'10". Picked that thing right up like a guard. Now he throws it away to Steve Mix. Here come the Sixers. Doug Collins. Racehorse basketball, and Doug Collins on the basketball. It turns it over to Buffalo.
Doug Collins, I think, had made up his mind to drive, and the defender picked him up early on that particular play, and he had nowhere to go, and he carried the ball. It was good, very good call by the officials.
Yeah, they're right on top of this game. This is a tough one to call. All the playoff games are. Now McAdoo goes outside of Jim McMillan. 6 points for the Braves. Randy Smith jumps over everybody and arcs it on through. And the Braves come back to within 2 points at 17-15. Randy Smith is now the leading scorer in the game. He has 7 points for Buffalo. McGinnis has 5 for Philadelphia. Catchings 4, Carter 4, Collins 4. Mix goes to the hoop. Basket is disallowed. No basket, says Manny Soko. And a charge is called on Steve Mix. He's a great success story. Played with Detroit, was cut. He was cut by 3 teams one season, started in the Continental League, started all over, and last year was an NBA All-Star.
Just an unbelievable story in itself. To see a player get out of basketball and come back and make it as big as he has.
Ken Charles forces a shot. Jim McMillan, offensive rebound, cannot get it to go on the second time up, but Shoemate takes it. And John Shoemate, a 56% shooter, gets the ball up and in, and the Buffalo Braves come back to tie the game at 17. Mix, that's a hard kick, and a foul is called by Ken Charles. And the way these whistles are going off, there's going to be some people on the bench before the fourth quarter is very old.
Don, they are really setting some great screens. I'm talking about the 76ers. George McGinnis got a big body. Steve Nicks got a big body. And Harvey Ketching's got a big body. Set some great screens. They're freeing a lot of people down there, and the officials are going to have to be careful that they're not moving on those screens.
I think, Jerry, it's also going to depend greatly who's got what on the bench, because there's no way that this tempo can keep up. It's a very warm day here in Philadelphia, and they're going to have to start substituting. The first one is coming into the game now since it began. Bob Weiss is coming in the backcourt, replacing Ken Charles, who just got his third personal foul for the Braves.
Well, Bobby Weiss will give some very good intelligence out there. Moves the basketball around, only takes good shots. I'm sure they'll try to get the ball a little bit more to McAdoo. He hasn't had many shots so far in this game.
Bobby Weiss comes in right off the bench, arcs in the left hand of the Buffalo Braves, tie the game again at 19. Fred Carter with the ball, hawked by Weiss on the outside. Loop inside, back out to Carter. McGinnis, who plays anywhere he wants to, comes out high now. Ball is tipped away from Collins, no foul. Long lead pass to Randy Smith, tipped away by McGinnis, picked up by Collins, knocked away by George McGinnis, and they start back the other way. Here's Doug Collins. That's his own offensive rebound, and Doug Collins works his way into the lane. Boy, he can play basketball.
He really can. He gives you a great effort all the time, and this man is 6'6", and one of the quicker guards in the league.
They call him a New West.
Well, he's really quite a basketball player, and he's young, too. He's going to get better.
He's got the great attitude. McAdoo fires one up, gets the rebound inside of McMillan. They played team basketball, but the basket is disallowed as there was a foul prior to Jim McMillan's shot on the inside. And now John Shoemate, who's gone very hard when it was expected he'd not play at all today, is going to the sideline to rest. And Dale Schluter's coming in to spell him with the 76ers in the lead, 21-19. Penalty shot ineffective. McAdoo goes to the free throw line for Buffalo. McAdoo has only 2 points so far, but as you know, Jerry, throughout the course of the season, when McAdoo scored 20 or 25 points and not 40 and 45, Buffalo invariably wins the game.
Well, I think what they were doing then was moving their offense around a little bit, and I think the key player in this ball game for Buffalo is Jimmy McMillan. If they can get him the ball game early with the good movement on their offense, he's going to hurt Philadelphia's team.
That's just what Gene Shue said before the game. He said if McMillan is in the game, if Smith and McAdoo are giving up the ball, Buffalo is so tough because when McMillan's in the game, everybody is. Doug Collins has the ball. The 76ers with a 1-point lead. Here's McGinnis looking to shoot. Passes off to Collins again. He arcs it up. Missed it all, but Nicks hustles and gets the rebound and puts it up. Great pursuit of the ball by Steve Nicks, who is working so hard underneath. Jack Ramsey out looking.
If you didn't get a good look at it, the reason he got the ball, he just threw Bobby. Look, he just throws Bobby Weiss out of the way. Gets in underneath. Should have been a foul in that play. Nicks very definitely fouled.
Well, after the first quarter, it is all tied up here at the Spectrum in Philadelphia, 32-32. Bob Stenner, one of our CBS producers, got a call today from Reggie Jackson, an old friend, and Reggie Jackson says he is hopeful of being in a uniform with the Baltimore Orioles before too long. That situation will resolve itself. Apparently, he's meeting today with Hank Peters. Freddie Carter gets the rebound, errands it up. Ketching tips it off to him. Carter takes it inside. 4 chances the 76ers get. They get it on the 4th.
Don, the one thing that Buffalo hasn't done in this playoff, they have not rebounded. Philadelphia has absolutely killed them on the boards. That's another sign of it right there.
Yeah, that's been a big difference. Boy, you can't give up 4. Jim McMillan works down low and does not roll for him. Up course they go to Lloyd Free. Bob Weiss against him. And Lloyd Free from out of the rafters sinks one through, and the Sixers open up a 4-point lead, and they're up and stomping here in Philadelphia. 36-32. Cross-court passes tipped away by McGinnis, very nearly a steal. Buffalo making some errant passes here in the first half. You don't try that diagonal cross-court pass against anybody.
Don, when they put George McGinnis back in the ball game for the 76ers, I think you saw just an up-tempo of the ball game immediately.
Shoemate goes down to McMillan. Back gets his own rebound. Ketching rejecting twice. Lead pass to McGinnis. Off to Lloyd Free. Off the glass, and the Sixers rip open a 6-point lead. And the Buffalo Braves quickly call a timeout. left to go in the first half, and the Sixers break the 32 tie and take a 6-point lead. Look at catching. Once is not enough. The 76ers a point lead here early in the second quarter, now pressuring the ball. They have to back off when Randy Smith have it. Go quick on the bit, he can switch hands, go right by you like the wind. 38-32, Ken Charles looks down low, a lot of motion down low. McAdoo takes it, the ball is slapped away. It was last touched by one of the 76ers. It will come inbounds to Buffalo.
John Harvey catching to played a big and very important part of this ball game. He's done a good defensive job with Bob McAdoo. Blocked about 4 shots already. A big job so far.
I tell you, they wanted everybody down on the floor. Going after that basketball, Shoemate spins off, comes up with the ball, and lays it in. And brings the Buffalo Braves back to it in 4. Philadelphia 38-34. Lloyd free against Randy Smith. Trying to loop down low. Joe Bryant comes out. Catching, posting down low. Trying to pick off McMillan for Bryant. Bryant fires from the outside. Rebound to McAdoo at 6'10" and only 208 pounds. He can get way, way up. Now Buffalo with a chance to get back within 2. Randy Smith takes it right through Catchings with his 4th block of the game. Once against Atlanta, he rejected 10 in a game.
Okay, he's done a phenomenal job inside. He's taken away about 5 layups the Buffalo's had in this ball game so far. It's very discouraging for the offensive player.
McAdoo down low, looking to shoot on Catchings. McAdoo puts it up over everybody, goes down Bryant. Up court to Carter, 76ers with that fast break offense. Carter did not, it was ruled, take the extra step. Gets the bucket.
Don, Philadelphia is not noted for their defense, but their defense has got them in very, very good shots on their offense.
It's 40-34. 76ers again with a 6-point lead. Down low to McMillan, one-on-one with Bryant. Spins off, and Jim McMillan with a great shot off the spin. Pumping it up, pop shot 12 feet out. 4-4 game, Sixers.
I don't think Joe Bryant can stay with Jimmy McMillan. If they'd get him the ball right now, he'd go for a bundle real quick, I think.
You've always been a believer in Jimmy McMillan from the days that you and he played in that L.A. championship team, 72.
Well, the thing about him, he really only takes a good shot.
George McGinnis with that great ball control. His hands are just so big, he palms that thing like it's a lemon. Puts it up, takes it down, puts it up again, and gets the bucket. It's a 6-point lead for Philadelphia.
He's a marvelous talent, and he's young.
Yeah, he came into the pros right after his sophomore year at Indiana. Joe Bryant is called for a personal foul. Both teams under the limit. First team foul in the second quarter for the 76ers. Third personal on Joe Bryant. Buffalo brings the ball in. Harvey Catchings is called for the personal foul. Catchings comes out now. Gene Shue brings it out. He gets the big ovation here at the Spectrum.
We'll see what Bob McAdoo can do now. He hasn't had much luck so far against Harvey Catchings. I would imagine he'll get a lot better shot selection against Clyde Lee.
They're really hawking the ball, the Sixers. They're trying to whack the ball before it even gets to McAdoo. They don't want his hands on it. McAdoo puts the shot. That's unbelievable. You can put a bag on that guy's head, he'll throw it in the hoop.
He had absolutely no shot he makes.
None at all. He had no shot. All he did is went up and threw it in. Fred Carter, who can gun and fire. He gets hot, he can rip the game open. He gets cold, he can blow you right out of it if you're the Sixers. He starts that fast break the other way with those long poingers that bounce off.
Philadelphia's had a history at their ball club this year. When they shoot poorly from outside, they have their bad game.
McAdoo can't get it from 25 feet out. Here's McGinnis at 6'8", taking it down floor. Inside from Clyde Lee to Steve Nicks. And Philadelphia goes out in front by 8, 46-38. And again, the Buffalo Braves are forced to call a timeout, lest they fall too far back to come back. 7:38 to play in the first half. Here is the lead to Clyde Lee to Steve Nicks, and he works in for the shot.
Welcome back to the NBA's greatest game.
Back at the Spectrum, Dancing Harry enlisting some support.
Say, Don, I don't know if I would like his
Dancing
support.
Harry I need. 2:27 left to go in the first half. It is 58-46. The Philadelphia 76ers, after the first quarter, saw a 32-32 tie, have now opened up a 12-point advantage. They've taken better shots. They've just played better all-around team basketball here in the big lead.
No question. That plus the rebounding has been a deciding factor in this ball game so far. Buffalo hasn't got very many second, third efforts, and Philadelphia on the other end has, and they've converted them.
Jim McMillan at the free throw line will still shoot two as the Sixers are in the penalty situation. Arcing up the next one up and in, and Jim McMillan now has scored 13 points for Buffalo. Randy Smith with 14, McAdoo with 9. For the 76ers, great balance in their scoring. Mix has 10. McGinnis has 9. Collins has 10. Carter has 11. Lloyd Free had 7 while he was in. Collins feeds off to Clyde Lee. All alone, a perfect assist from Doug Collins. The double team dropped off on him, and nobody was around Clyde Lee, and he gets the easy bank shot.
Great interior passing by Philadelphia, not once but twice. Mix made a fine pass to Collins. Collins a fine pass to Clyde Lee for the basket.
Randy Smith goes to Kenny Charles. Charles puts it up off glass, and here is an offensive foul call. Ken Charles just drew his 4th personal foul on the charge.
Philadelphia's defense inside has just almost shut completely off Buffalo's driving game.
They really have done a job inside. 60-48, the 76ers are in the lead. Now in the final 2 minutes of the first half. Joe Bryant spinning off. And there's a travel, I believe, called. Ball comes back over to Buffalo.
Don, that's a rookie mistake. He just held the ball much too much. He got stuck with the ball, and the only thing he had to do was walk with it.
Now Randy Smith brings the ball up the midcourt line. Look at these guys going after each other. Joe Bryant just gets called for personal foul.
23!
Jim McMillan was trying to cut left to right across the lane looking for the lead pass, and Bryant cut him off with a hip, and Bryant's the guy lifting.
I think Jimmy McMillan's knee caught Bryant right on his knee, and that was really very, very painful.
Jim McMillan's a solid guy. He's really put together. He's only 6'5", which isn't that big for a forward this league.
We called him Butterball in Los Angeles.
He'll move him out inside, though. He gets that good hip. Joe Bryant has 4 personal fouls for the 76ers. McMillan now with his 15th point, and the Braves trail by 9. 76ers have the ball, 1:30 to go in the first half. They stack 3 men. The Philadelphia 76ers to the right side. Lee kicks as Carter puts the ball in the air. Here is a foul call, and it's against Buffalo as Clyde Lee was fouled when somebody ran into him. Jim McMillan knocked the pick over.
On that particular play, if Buffalo's defense were talking, that play would have never occurred. He would have never gotten that foul. That simple lack of communication by the defensive player.
Try the same play again. Fred Carter spins off, falls away, and Fred Carter gets that tough fall-away jump shot, and the 76ers have their biggest lead in the game by 13 points. 1 minute to go. McAdoo hasn't had the ball in quite a while, puts it up. He was fouled by Mix. Steve Mix with just his 2nd personal foul. McAdoo will have 3 chances to make 2.
I don't think Steve Mix can stay with Bob McAdoo. Not many players in the league can, but I think Bob's just a little bit too quick for him. He's going to need some more help by the Philadelphia team.
McAdoo's only scored 9 points. Now 10. And Bob McAdoo brings the Buffalo Braves back to within 11. We're in the final minute of the first half. 55 seconds to go. Fred Carter picked up right over the timeline by Ken Charles. Carter weaving behind his big friend Clyde Lee, looking for the shot. He is rejected. McAdoo blocked the ball. Takes it down. Goes to Randy Smith. Buffalo hurrying the ball up court. Jim McMillan stops, goes inside his Shoemate, great percentage shooter, and John Shoemate gets it off last. And the Braves come back to within 9 with 30 seconds to play in the half.
The thing that Philadelphia can't afford to do is have Freddie Carter dribble the basketball like that. He had no shot at all, and they need to move the ball a little bit better, particularly when they got a lead.
One guy's dribbling too much. It's no longer a 5-man game.
Absolutely correct. And you watch the defensive players, everyone stands around and watches.
Red Carter missed it, but Steve Mix got the offensive board, and here is a foul call on Buffalo. McMillan draws his third personal foul, and Mix goes to the free throw line. 9 seconds.
Steve Mix has really done a fine job on his own offensive board, and the thing that Buffalo has done poorly, they have not blocked the Philadelphia players off the backboard.
Steve Mix, who played collegiately at Toledo, now has 11 points. And a 10-point lead again for the 76ers as we're down in the final seconds of the first half. An 11-point advantage for the 76ers as Buffalo play for the last shot. And here comes Randy Smith flying up court against Lloyd Free. Into McAdoo inside just before the buzzer. The good team play of the Buffalo Braves with Jim McMillan on the payoff end puts up the final field goal of the first half. And so they go to the locker room with the Philadelphia 76ers in command 64-55. Senor West. We look down the stats here. There's Gene Shue. He said he's very, very pleased with his first 2 quarters. Said we got to keep that defense up. That's what you win these things with.
I don't think there's any question. It's been reflected in Buffalo's poor shooting percentage. In the first half, they shot only 40% from the field as compared to the 51% of the 76ers. Really think probably the key stat in the ball game was the rebounds. Philadelphia had 32-26 over Buffalo, and the rest of it fairly even. And if Philadelphia can continue the same kind of play, get the same big effort that they got from Harvey Catching, who went out with 3 fouls early in the second quarter, they should be in pretty good shape. Buffalo needs Bob McAdoo in this ball game. He shot only 3 for 10, not great for Bob McAdoo, but you just can't count him out, Don.
Now they got to get the big production, and they certainly have gotten it from Jim McMillan, who has now scored 17 points. Leads them in scoring. Randy Smith with 14. Doug Collins, man, this guy just is on the dead run the minute they blow the whistle. 34! Shoemate draws the foul. Doug Collins had a lot of problems. He's in his 3rd year in the NBA now. His 2nd season, he had a broken bone in his foot that kept him out much of the year. The rare distinction of being the #1 player selected in the NBA when he came out of Illinois State. Played in the Olympic team in 1972. George McGinnis starts to the hoop on Bob McAdoo, and still another foul is called.
We have number 5 on a hit. We have a 2-shot play.
Jim McMillan was the man who fouled George McGinnis, and McMillan now has 4 personal fouls.
Well, that's going to hurt Buffalo. They have to take him out of the lineup. George McGinnis shows you what a tremendous basketball player he is. This guy is so quick, such great agility, and the ability to hang in one hand. Hang in the air and shoot the ball with one hand makes him even tougher.
It is now a 66-55 game. The 76ers with an 11-point lead. Ken Charles gets the ball over to Randy Smith. Looking to get it down low. They have the wide open underneath. Now Shoemate fills and Smith runs through. Good motion of the Buffalo offense. 4 men moving without the ball, looking to get open inside. They loop the ball to Shoemate off his fingertips and back over to the Philadelphia 76ers.
Buffalo's offense just does not look good. I think you have to give a great deal of the credit to the 76er defense.
Sixers have played really aggressive throughout the first 2 quarters. In and out it goes, and down with the ball is Randy Smith. An 11-point advantage for the 76ers. They led by 9 at the half. Here is McAdoo with that high arcing shot right on time, and the Braves are back to it in 9.
That's the kind of shot that Bob McAdoo wants, and you get him that shot, he's going to bury it.
Nail it down.
Better believe he's going to bury it a lot.
Red Carter drives in and gets the bucket. McAdoo went down, but there is no charge called. Watch Freddie Carter come back. I think a strong wind would have knocked Mac over in that one.
Yeah, Bob McAdoo put a little act on that play. But McAdoo has a great ability to pick up those charges inside.
Nice play by Jim McMillan coming down, looping underneath, down to the baseline of the court. And Jim McMillan quickly gets the pass and arcs it up. Tough shot off the run on that inside jump shot. It's 68-59. Philadelphia with a 9-point lead. Mix comes out high. McMillan's against him. Doug Collins. Great shooter. Boy, Guy can go to him all day long. A 53% shooter from the backcourt.
He has that great ability to shoot outside and also drive to the basket. I think he's probably the best driver of any guard in the NBA.
Shoemate slaps the ball out to Ken Charles. He takes his time, and Shoemate comes down with the offensive rebound. He goes down. Harvey Catchings fouled him. No place for the faint of heart out there.
Inside, I can't believe the aggressive play inside this ball game. Unbelievable. They're really beating some bodies up inside.
They call a foul on Shoemate?
They sure did call a foul on him. I think they almost arrested him, too, because of that foul.
Well, John Shoemate thought it went the other way, and these two officials there got a lot of work. Now there's a timeout on the floor called by the Buffalo Braves, with the 76ers in the lead by 11, as you see.
Welcome back to the NBA's greatest game.
At the Spectrum in Philadelphia. We're ready to resume play now. The Sixers bring the ball in. Collins goes to McGinnis. He's going to put the move on McAdoo. McMillan picks her up and hand off to Steve Nicks, lays it in off glass. And Philadelphia opens up a 72-59 lead. You may recall they led by this advantage one time in the second quarter, a 13-point lead. Randy Smith down to McMillan. Shoemate looking to get open. They loop it in down low against Nicks. Spins off, puts the ball up. There's a foul call on the play. Steve Nicks gets the foul. And John Shoemate goes to the free throw line.
Don, you know, John Shoemate really has to be given a lot of credit for playing this ball game today. He really has done a great job under the circumstances. A terrible blow that he received to the head the other night. He's done a good job.
He has, considering it's very remarkable that he played at all. It was feared that he could very, very seriously injured Friday night. What actually happened, the game film show, Jim McMillan inadvertently, accidentally, is going for the ball, caught Shoemate with a hip on the leg, and they're both going after a rebound, and Shoemate came down right square on his forehead, knocked unconscious. He was hospitalized, and there was very serious concern as how seriously he was injured. But a neurosurgeon, after extensive testing yesterday, said he's all right to play, and he's been in there a lot today. Shoemate sweeps it down. Collins gets the ball. Last touch by John Shoemate, so the Philadelphia 76ers will put it in play.
Buffalo, every time they shoot the ball, they just can't afford to let Philadelphia get any more second shots.
First half, as you were pointing out, the 76ers shot 51%, Jerry, and the Braves had just a shade over 40%, 40.5. Rebounding always a big. Philadelphia out-rebounded 29-21. It is 72-60 as Fred Carter lays back. Look at Doug Collins come from off the play. And again, the 76ers get the ball. And Kenny Charles finally takes it down. Look at Randy Smith, breeze on by. Pulls up, 18-footer, right home. The bottom of the hole.
And I guarantee if they keep letting Philadelphia get that many shots at their offensive end, they're going to stick it in, and they're going to really get themselves in trouble. But Buffalo is by no means dead in this ball game. A good shooting spurt will put them right back in.
72-62, 10 points can go in a hurry in this league. Partially blocked by Jim McMillan. McAdoo picks it up, goes to Randy Smith. Unbelievable. Collins fighting against him. Over to Jim McMillan, puts it up. McMillan gets it, and the Braves start to come back. The Buffalo Braves are starting them out the offense now. They're getting the good shots off the run, and they're getting the ball with good aggressive defense. Jim McMillan is at 21 points with 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Fred Carter controlling the ball an awful long time.
Well, that's what hurts the ball club. Everyone's standing now. They just don't need this. They need to really move the ball.
McGinnis spins off, and Randy Smith is called for a personal foul. Believe it or not, that's his first. He's the only guy to clean slate out there till now.
He'll get the sportsmanship award in this ball game today.
They got a banner hanging in the Spectrum here with a sportsmanship award presented by a local company. Bobby Clark, the Philadelphia Flyers, has it 6 years in a row. Bobby gets a few of those guys at the butt end of his stick.
What a great hockey player he is.
And the guy ever meant more to his team than Clark.
Unbelievable player.
But the other NHL players don't vote on that sportsmanship award. Like giving it to Loskatoffer.
There's a lot of players in the NBA that couldn't qualify for it, I'll tell you that.
Randy Smith fires up. Rebound is taken down nicely by Mixie. Blocked out, head position, swept it off the defensive board and leads the breakup at 6-7. A 230-pound powerhouse. Harvey Catchings gets the lead pass. Steve Nicks did it all. Took the board down, brought it up court, threw the perfect lead pass to Catchings, who just had to go up and lay it in.
Excuse me, Harvey Catchings had a sensational ball game. 4 for 4 from the field, 8 rebounds, 4 block shots. Great ball game for him.
Again, the 76ers have an 11-point lead. Look at McAdoo go in, lay it up with the wrong hand, and get it off glass for 2 points, and again, it's a 9-point advantage. Red Carter up against Ken Charles. You can touch, but you can't impede, is what the rule book says in the NBA, and Charles is doing plenty of touching. Doug Collins all day long. If I were that guy, he'd be my offense.
You're right. This guy's some player. You know, he's made 4 jump shots. Every time he's made it, he's went down after he shot the ball.
Excellent player. Excellent player. McAdoo controls the ball, goes down. Man alive. Look at that broken bones here. Harvey Catchings. The lament of the accused. Harvey Catchings is jumping up and down. Harvey Catchings wasn't even a good high school basketball player. Very little known at Hardin-Simmons, and boy, he's done some job today for the 76ers. He just got the personal. Coach Ramsey got out right on the court with the last-minute instructions now for his Buffalo Braves as they trail the game 77-66. The first quarter, at the end of that, we had a stand-up, 32-all. The halftime, the 76ers had just a much superior team play in the second quarter, had an 11.9-point lead. Jim McMillan, he's been tough for Buffalo. The captain has now hit 23 points, former Columbia All-American. Here's another foul call on the Buffalo bench, I believe. Coach Ramsey, what's that now? There's a warning. I think that was an official warning.
You better believe that'll be the last time he says anything, too.
Shoemate sweeps down the defensive board, goes to McAdoo. He said, clear on down, Randy. I'll take it up myself at 6'10". Now Smith comes to the outside, looking for McMillan, weak side against Steve Nicks. The weak side, the side away from the ball. Shoemate down low, the strong forward. Outside to McAdoo. Look at that.
McAdoo's 3 for 3 this half, Don, and he's had a much, much better shot selection this half.
And Buffalo now trails by 7 points, as you see, 77-70. A lot of time to go. Collins all day long on the inside. No basket foul prior to the move. Who'd they get, McMillan?
They got Randy Smith on that last play. That is one of the toughest plays in basketball to cover when a man is pressing you. George McGinnis broke out high. Randy Smith trying to stay with Doug Collins. Doug Collins goes backdoor away from the ball. Just almost impossible to cover. Particularly for a man as quick as Collins and as big as him.
Doug Collins at the free throw line. He has now scored 15 points. McGinnis has 12. Steve Nicks has 14. Boy, he's worked to get him. Played a great game. Catchings has 8. Carter has 15. Bryant has 4. Free has 8. McMillan with 23 for Buffalo. Jim McMillan. Here's McAdoo. Too much on it. Rebound tapped away. Look at Smith. Just so very fast. Outruns everybody. Gets the ball. Loops it up. Little hip shot, and he gets it. Here's a delay of game warning against McAdoo. We got lots of people warned now. I don't know what happens the next time they infract.
They keep warning people, and then they finally start calling when they don't have anyone left.
Up court with the ball as the Buffalo Braves are back to it in 6. Here's Ken Charles, puts the man in the air and gets it off glass, and we've got a basketball game going now at 78-74. 5:10 to go in the third quarter, so we got a world of basketball left, and the Buffalo Braves have hustled back. They've worked their way back into this game. They're down by 4. McGinnis takes it inside. There's a foul.
Number 11.
And the foul call is number 11 on the Buffalo Braves. That is Big Mac. second.
Well, when George McGinnis can catch the ball in this deep to the basket, he caught the ball inside the foul line. He spun around. He's so close that the only thing you have to do, Don, is foul him. McAdoo has to overplay him and keep him from getting the ball inside, and that's a difficult chore for anyone.
You know, Jerry, one of the problems George McGinnis has had his whole career. He's so strong. You wouldn't believe how strong this man is. They call him the man with a bulletproof body. But he goes up inside, and guys can hang on his arm, and they go right up with him. It's like Wilt. He puts them in the hoop, too.
I don't think there's any question, Don, when the player's strong inside and when he's so close to the basket that officials sometimes don't see the fouls and they don't call them.
George McGinnis was a high school All-American tight end. At Indianapolis, Washington High School, went on to Indiana University. Signed to the ABA after his sophomore year. Led the ABA in scoring last year. Signed a 6-year, $3 million contract with the Philadelphia 76ers.
He's been worth every penny of it.
He has. He paid his own way right away. They had 300 season tickets last year. They signed McGinnis, and they went up to about 3,500.
He also broke the attendance record here, Don.
Went from 7,000 to 12,500 this year in attendance, average. Great guys pay their way. Box office. He's not only a great player, he sells tickets. Works at window 9. McGinnis goes to Mix. It is 80 to 76, a 4-point game. Buffalo harassing on defense. And Fred Carter gets a big basket for the 76ers. Buffalo Braves almost playing the zone defense. Every team in the NBA does if they can get away with it. That quick, tight switching game. Shoemate down low against McGinnis. McMillan, no foul. Jim McMillan looks to the official. Lead to Collins. Watch him go. Look at that play by Doug Collins. Fantastic basketball play. Absolutely extraordinary play. An extraordinary play. Look at this. Fastest guy in the league against him. He puts it on the floor with a behind-the-back dribble. Goes up, reverse layup, and gets it.
Just a sensational play. And if you don't think he's some great athlete to be able to change direction that quickly and make the kind of shot he did, you just got to watch this guy play. Very emotional player. I think we had another warning again, Don.
Delay of game against the 76ers. Boy, I'll tell you, watch basketball for a long, long time. You don't see a guy do that. Put Smith on the floor with the move. McAdoo puts it up. No basket, says Jake O'Donnell. Foul prior to the shot.
34.
All of a sudden, on the great play by Doug Collins, the 76ers have opened up an 8-point lead again after Buffalo had cut it to 4. We have 3:47 left to go. Randy Smith puts it up. Tough shot. He got it against Collins. Firing off the move, 18 feet away. 84-78, a 6-point game. 76ers have the ball. Carter looping down low, goes to Mix. He's played a fantastic game on all. You don't know he's out there, but he's blocking out, getting rebounds, scoring points. He has 14. Karam shot. Rebound slapped around. Shoemate has the ball slapped to him, goes to Randy Smith. 76ers revert from offense to defense quickly. Smith puts it up again. Sometimes you got to pass off when you come down with the ball, and here comes McGinnis. He likes to throw it around. What do we have here? Travel is called on George McGinnis.
It was more of a double dribble than a travel. I was wondering when they're going to call it. You know, one thing that the Buffalo has done here to get back in this ball game, they have moved the ball around a lot better. Bob McAdoo has had 5 shots as heavy. He's made 4 of them. Every one of them has been a good shot for him. Philadelphia, on the other hand, they've dribbled too much and they've lost a little bit of momentum.
McAdoo gets the shot over Clyde Lee and draws the foul. And the Buffalo Braves with a free throw here can draw it to 1. We're going to have a timeout. Tell you, where are you out watching this one?
It's a great ball game.
Good one. NBA playoff basketball on CBS, the best basketball in the world.
He won the game! Welcome back to the NBA's greatest game.
Got the heat on here in Philadelphia as the Buffalo Braves down by 9 at the half and then down by 13 points in the third quarter. All of a sudden start coming back on the roar. They're now down by 4 and they have their ace, Bob McAdoo, going to the free throw line. And if he can hit this, we'll have a 3-point game. Jerry, what's the difference been in the third quarter?
Well, the difference in the third quarter, Buffalo refused to quit. Everyone talks about the importance of a home court advantage. It hasn't worked out so far in this ball game. Bob McAdoo is starting to hit now. Buffalo is playing tougher defense. Philadelphia is only getting one shot on their offense, and that's the difference in this ball game.
It is a 3-point game, 84-81. Fred Carter with the ball for Philadelphia. Loops the ball down low to Clyde Lee. Picked up by Charles as Shoemate went for the steal, and Shoemate steals the ball. And here come the Braves, playing on the visiting court after being way down and almost out of it, coming back and keeping the heat on and getting better as the game wears on. The 76ers now laying back a little on defense. They've been getting burned. McAdoo puts it up. Oh, it's unbelievable what that guy can do with that round ball.
There's nothing to do about it. He's just shooting right through the part in Clyde Lee's hair right now.
Yeah, I remember when you used to come to the Garden, Jerry, and there's got to be a great feeling. It's great to score at home and everybody yell, but when the crowd's way up and you fire something, then everything's quiet, isn't it?
Particularly when it's in the playoffs. Big basket by Freddie Carter.
Great shot by Fred Carter. And he was fouled by Ken Charles. Charles says, I didn't touch him. Freddie Carter says to Ken, hey, you got me right here in the stomach. 86-83, and now the Sixers can go up by 4 after Buffalo cut it to 1. A 4-point advantage for the Philadelphia 76ers. We have 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter. 2 minutes, third quarter. The winner of this game goes on to play the Boston Celtics in best of 7 in Eastern semifinal series. We got to have an injury timeout. Ken Charles apparently got tipped on the finger. We saw him a few weeks ago at Boston. He must have got wrapped in the head about 10 times. He kept coming back.
Ken Charles is really a good professional basketball player. He's one of those people who talk, he's a pro's pro. He does not a lot of things spectacular, but a lot of things real well. Sacrificed himself for this team. He's been a good addition to this ball club.
He's a good, solid college player at Fordham University in New York. And has blossomed as a pro. Gives it to you. Smith forces the shot. McGinnis, boy, he can take it down. He's going to smash that ball like a grape one of these days.
Don, when he grabs that ball inside, you can see his body just go away from him. He is really an exciting basketball
Never
player.
touched a weight. He's got the shoulder development. He's like a silo. Oh, they lost the ball. McAdoo picked it away as George McGinnis could not hang on to the ball. And here comes Randy Smith leading the break. Long lead pass, and McGinnis goes for the steal and goes right into the loving arms of Jack Ramsey.
How would you like to be a fan having George McGinnis come at you through the crowd?
Well, he had big Tom Burleson come at us out in Seattle.
I'll show you a quicker move if he comes after us.
Your quick feet got you out of the way. McAdoo, bad shot. Inside to Shoemate, fouled by McGinnis, and McAdoo, after the missed shot, Shoemate with the ball will shoot 2 fouls, and Doug Collins comes out, and boy, when that guy leaves the floor, he needs oxygen. He just suspends everything he's got every second he's out there.
The pace of this ball game has slowed down a great deal, and I really believe it can be attributed to the first half of the ball game. It was so fast. They're starting to play a little bit better basketball now and not making as many mistakes.
Shoemate misses the first shot. Penalty shot now in effect. There is where John Shoemate fell, right over his left eye. Former All-American at Notre Dame. Signed by the Phoenix Suns as their #1 draft choice. And Shoemate with 3 chances to make 2 can still get 2 points now as he'll take his third shot. We have 1:05 to go, third quarter. It is a 3-point game, Philadelphia. Bob Weiss in the game for Buffalo. McAdoo, Weiss, Randy Smith, Shoemate, and Jim McMillan in the game for the Braves. Carter with the ball for the 76ers. In there with him is Clyde Lee. Joe Bryant. Lloyd Free. He was so good in the second quarter when he came in. And Steve Nicks. Carter looks to go to the hoop. Takes away. Great shot by Fred Carter. Freddie Carter falls back and fires. He now has 22 points. McMillan has 23. Randy Smith takes it all the way down, and he was fouled. He had 3 chances to make 2.
Randy Smith had a good ball game today. I think one of the better games I've seen him play this year.
Buffalo's got the apple going at the free throw line. Very big factor is it's a very, very warm, humid day here in Philadelphia. It's difficult to get finger control on that ball, and your hands are sweating that much.
It really is, but when you miss all three of them, it doesn't bother you that much.
Did you ever shoot the air ball from the free throw line?
I never shot an air ball, but I saw a number of them shot. Very embarrassing.
Rebound down to McAdoo. It's a 4-point lead for Philadelphia. 20 seconds left to go in the third quarter. And Buffalo will play for the final shot of the quarter. Weiss, as Bryant lays off. McMillan goes down low. Carter's against him. McMillan's calling for the basketball. Weiss goes to Randy Smith. Down low to McMillan. Tapped over to McAdoo. Puts it up. He's unbelievable.
Unreal.
He now has 26. He's caught fire. Shot at the buzzer is no good. And so the third quarter ends, and we have got the match on. The match is on. It is 89 to 87 as the Braves rally back to pick up 7 points in the third quarter. With Jerry West and Sonny Hill, this is Don Criqui back at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. We're now into the fourth quarter, ready to open it. As the Braves bring the ball inbounds, if they score here, they will tie the game. They were down by 9 at the half. They were down by 13 in the third quarter. John Shoemate down low, puts McGinnis up, gets the shot. The ball game is tied. And all of a sudden, the Spectrum, with this huge crowd, becomes ominously silent as the Braves have turned this game around. All tied up as we're in the fourth quarter. Fred Carter puts it down low to McGinnis. Outside to Joe Bryant. Gets the roll. Joe Bryant hits it out of LaSalle of Philadelphia, the rookie. And again, the 76ers have the 2-point lead. That interesting comparison, but McGinnis has now gotten hot. Has outscored, McAdoo has outscored McGinnis 26 to 14. Randy Smith forcing the shot. Here comes McGinnis. Watch all this. He's got a free man in Lloyd. Free tried to backhand the ball to him. And Randy Smith got it. Bob Weiss gets up, shaking his head. Where am I? Who hit me with the ball bat?
George McGinnis with a good pass down there could have gotten Philadelphia a layup, and instead of that's a 4-point switch for him. They should have had a layup on that play. Bad pass on McGinnis.
And Shoemate comes right back to score for Buffalo, and again the game is tied at 91. It is all over for one of these teams after today. The winner against the Boston Celtics. 91-91. On the drive, we have a foul call on Bob Weiss for using the hip. That's his third personal foul. Both teams under the limit. That is the first team foul of the fourth quarter against the Buffalo Braves. And so Philadelphia inbounds the ball. Lloyd Free goes to Fred Carter. Harvey Catching sets the pick. Weiss gets through it. Down to Harvey Catching. Too much on it. God, his anguished cry is coming out from underneath that basket.
Loose balls now.
Harvey just let a weird sound.
Watch George McGinnis. Now look how strong George McGinnis. Watch him go flying out there. Got a good wrap from John Shoemate.
They call a foul on Smith, though. That's his third. The game is tied at 91 in the fourth quarter. Lloyd Free fields the ball over, gets it to Catching, back to Lloyd Free. And McAdoo comes up and sweeps her down like a big hawk. Up court to Randy Smith. Over the timeline, they're going to play quarterback basketball now and set the play. Randy Smith is the rookie. Lloyd Free backs off him. Not too close. Inside Shoemate. Woo, he sets one down. And Harvey Catchings is down. He fell, trying to stay with Shoemate. And Harvey apparently twisted an ankle. He's limping off the court. He's going to stay in the game. He wants to. Buffalo just took the lead in that slam dunk.
On that particular play, Philadelphia's defense just simply did not talk. That's why you see men getting so wide open. You have to talk in this league to play defense. If people say that you can't communicate on the floor, you really have to communicate, particularly on the defensive end. The offensive end, you should know what you're going to do. The defensive end, you have to talk.
It's like catching punts in the National Football League. You need a little help from your friends when you're watching the ball come down.
Boy, you need a lot of help when you got those big bodies setting screens in there. If you don't talk, it can really hurt sometimes.
You got 10 guys out there. How do you know who's talking?
He can't come in.
I tell you, we can get a lot of talking when the guys on the offensive end are saying, "Give me the ball, give me the ball."
Jack Ramsey is now up protesting something vehemently. Apparently they're ruling the house.
You can't make a substitution.
We'll find out. There's going to be a timeout. With 9:54 left to go in the fourth quarter, the Buffalo Braves have rallied back to take the lead in this game. A 93-91 game. Bob McAdoo getting hot here in the third and now fourth quarters has scored 26 points. Jim McMillan has 23. There is Jack Ramsey, who has directed his team back. I don't know what he said in the locker room, but it had to be some of the wisdom that came from that PhD because he turned the game around.
Very bright, knowledgeable basketball man. I think he's done a real fine job in Buffalo.
It's a great franchise.
It really is a good franchise. They've got a young ball club that should be good for a long time.
It's a great city.
Buffalo's own can call it that.
93-91. Down low they go to mix. Here is Don Adams comes in and he promptly fouls George McGinnis. The 76ers breaking their very quickly going right down low to McGinnis. Let's go to our ace and get him the ball. Personal foul called on Don Adams was his first. Third team foul.
Don, that could be a factor. 3 team fouls so early. Philadelphia hadn't had much luck, and now they're going to. Next foul is going to be a penalty. And they haven't shot well. This could keep them in the ball game when they're going badly.
Right, 9.5 minutes to go. This is the first time Buffalo has led since the first quarter. You're with us at the outset. You saw them jump off to a 7-2 lead. At the end of the first quarter, the game was tied at 32 all. At the half, Philadelphia led by 9, and then by 13 in the third quarter. Fred Carter, Mad Dog they call him, way up and off glass. He has 24, Fred Carter. And the game is tied at 93. We're in the fourth quarter. Randy Smith puts it up, nice and soft, but not enough there, and here comes McGinnis. Weaving his way down, he puts the ball right in the hands of Bob Weiss. Weiss just stood there and said, thank you so very much. Now Adams gets the ball. McMillan hasn't shot in a while. You want to go to him. He's been hot, and there's a whistle and a foul underneath.
Number 30 with a home.
Philadelphia is called for the personal foul. George McGinnis just got his 5th. One more, and he sits down.
He's going to take a seat anyway. Gene Shue is going to get him out of this ball game. They can't afford to lose him going down the last few minutes of this ball game, particularly if it's close.
And don't forget, you'll see a game that will also decide one team advancing and one team being out when the Milwaukee Bucks are home to play the Detroit Pistons, that NBA playoff game. The third deciding game of the best-of-3 series coming up following this one here on CBS. Yesterday at Cleveland, Gary Bender and Sonny Jurgensen were courtside as the Cleveland Cavaliers took a 2-1 advantage. Didn't have Cleveland on all year. Now he'd be there every week. Those guys are tough.
They got a fine ball club. It's a very dangerous ball club.
Those fans don't hurt him either. Bob Weiss puts it up. Fight for the rebound. What's we got here? Going to go down court to the 76ers.
The danger of getting in the foul situation already for Buffalo. Philadelphia's got a great chance now. They haven't shot well the last few minutes of this ball game. They got a chance now to go to the free throw line and get some easy points. And this is the thing that really hurts a team when they're coming back.
8.5 minutes to go in the game. It is 93-93, and that is such an important factor. As you're pointing out, the penalty coming into effect. This much time left, Philadelphia could win the game at the free throw line. This one's coming down to the final 10 seconds.
This is going to be a great ball game all the way.
It is 94-93. The 76ers are back in the lead, and Collins is getting set to come back in the game. So you'll see that blonde head flying from one end to the other. Down low to Adams. Inside, nicely done to McMillan, who gets the roll. Nicely assisted by Adams. Call him the Nicky Lolich of the NBA. Rebound down to McAdoo. The Braves with a 1-point lead, now bringing the ball down court. They go to Weiss. He'll stabilize. Set thing up. Goes to McAdoo. Big shot from the way. McAdoo forcing a shot. 2-on-2 break. Lloyd Free running in against Randy Smith. Lloyd Free off the run. And Joe Bryant taps it away but loses the ball to the Buffalo Braves.
Well, that's what happens when you get caught up in a wild ball game. Lloyd Free took a bad shot. Bob McAdoo took a bad shot on the other end. This is a time in the ball game, Don, when you don't have anyone down with you. You want to try to set up and get a good shot.
Want to slow up that running a little bit now, huh?
That's right, and everyone's getting tired. They're going to make mistakes now, so you got to really be careful and handle the ball correctly.
Down low to McAdoo, tipped away, but McAdoo picks it up, goes to Shoemate. John Shoemate fading away, and the Buffalo Braves have for them an enormous lead, 3 points. It's like elbow room for these guys, the way they've been.
They played catch-up all day, and they've done a great job with it. Philadelphia's got some foul problems. They're going to have to really be careful with some of their key players.
This would probably be the biggest win in the history of this Buffalo franchise. If they came to Philadelphia and won today, winning on the home court twice in the best-of-3 series or the away court.
Well, that shows you quality of the ball club and the quality of the players they got on this team. To come back and be down, they have to be a little bit down mentally, and they come back here today, and they've given a great effort so far.
We have 7 minutes and 14 seconds left to play in the game. Doug Collins at the free throw line. Best free throw shooting player on the 76ers. Oh, he just gives it to you. He ever put the ball up today, didn't go in the hole.
Another good thing about him now, with them in the penalty situation, he's such a good driver that he will have a chance to get up the free throw line.
How about that for a drive? Randy Smith goes. The basket will count. There's a foul on the play. Spectacular play by Randy Smith. Look at this.
Look at this quickness. Unbelievable. He can blow by people that. He's great body control, a nice soft shot, and he gets a bounce.
He can high jump 6'11". Got that good rolls going up in Buffalo. It keeps in the garage all winter. They want that snow on it.
I think all the players in the league drive rolls now.
You have them out there, isn't there?
They can afford to drive anything they want to, the money they're making.
196. Steve Mix can't get the shot. Joe Bryant fights and gets it rejected by McAdoo. A goal, 10 on the Braves. 198. An excellent call by the official. You'll see the trajectory of the ball just on the way down.
McAdoo missed the rebound once inside. Bryant with good hands inside, keeps the ball alive. McAdoo right in front of the basket, goaltender.
198. The ball will come inbound to the Buffalo Braves. They have a 2-point lead. We have 6 minutes and 39 seconds left to play in the game. And there's another game just like it coming up next. The NBA on CBS. Detroit and Milwaukee. With the winner to go against the defending league champions, the Golden State Warriors. McAdoo takes it down the baseline. Boy, Buffalo's really gotten their act together.
Well, they've gotten their act together mainly because their big man, Bob McAdoo's got his act together. When he's going, you just can't stop him.
Driving shot, and Shoemate takes it down. I'll tell you, it looks like guns are going off with so many guys on the floor in this game. McAdoo has 28. Ken Charles looks for the open man. Here is Randy Smith. Going to think it over now. 12 seconds on the shot clock. 6:05 on the game clock. Shoemate. Up and good. The basket goes, and Shoemate will go to the free throw line. And the Braves take again the 4-point lead with a chance to go up by 5.
Bob McAdoo and Joe Bryant had a few words, too. I've never seen Bob McAdoo get mad at all. But that was a great move by John Shoemate inside. Okay, watch this move. Tremendous move, a very strong move inside. He just overpowers Joe Bryant on the inside.
John Shoemate at the free throw line. The son of a Pentecostal minister from Elizabeth, New Jersey, who twice in his life has been very close to death. It's feared he'd never play again because of a blood clotting factor, but he's come back now. Gained All-America honors at Notre Dame and then come on into the NBA. And here is George McGinnis back in the game, and Buffalo has the 7-point lead. 105 to 98. Red Carter, he's kept the 76ers in it with that brilliant outside shooting. Freddie Carter now with 26 points. Out high with the ball is Don Adams. It's slapped away by Mixer. Comes McGinnis. One-on-one. He's going one-on-one with Randy Smith. Foul on number 10. Don Adams tried to sneak in a little push to get position on the boards. 105-100. Buffalo has the lead, but Steve Nicks will go to the free throw line. The penalty shot is in effect for Philadelphia.
There's a big, big steal by Doug Collins on Don Adams in that last particular play. They're going to get Jimmy McMillan back in this ball game, and he's the guy that seems to give them good movement on their offense. Big free throws for Steve Nicks here. Steve
Nicks at the free throw line. Steve Mix has played an outstanding all-around game. He's just given it to him all over the floor. Plays at both ends, every game. Here's that steal.
Good quick hands by Doug Collins in that particular play.
Steve Mix shooting for his 15th point. Now his 16th. And all of a sudden, Philadelphia has come back to it in 3. They were down by 7. Buffalo rallying back from 13 points down in the third quarter has the lead as we start down the stretch. Jim McMillan with the big shot. He does not get it. McGinnis takes down the defensive board. And here comes Fred Carter on the run for Philadelphia. Dance is inside with a yo-yo dribble. Now they go back outside, and McGinnis, pump shot. Way out shot from a 41% shooter. That's a good percentage. That's not where McGinnis is most effective. He's an effective inside, bowling his way in with that ball in one hand. 4:45 to play in the game. They look to McAdoo. Up against him is Harvey Catching. McAdoo with a move to the basket. Puts it up against Catching. Roll won't go, and McGinnis sweeps down a second straight defensive board.
McGinnis on the inside has really done the job when they missed the shot. But I think another man you just can't give him enough credit to has been Harvey Catching. When he's been in there, Bob McAdoo hasn't been a big force on the offensive end. Only when Catchings has been out of the lineup.
3 men back for Philadelphia. Here's Ken Charles, and he drills it home. Ken Charles nails one home to give Buffalo a 5-point lead. 4 minutes and 10 seconds left to go in the game. Always the specter of an overtime. Philadelphia slowing down its offense. Collins outside, down to McAdoo. He has been the all-pro player he is, particularly here in the second half. McAdoo at 6'10" can put it right down on the floor. They go outside now. Jim McMillan is saying, get the ball around, move it around, let's play basketball. Block, no foul. Down the ball is McGinnis. Fast break, Philadelphia. 3 attackers and 3 defenders. And the ball is tipped away from Steve Mix off his foot by Randy Smith. And the Sixers want timeout as they trail by 5 in a most amazing game. 107-102 with 3 minutes and 35 seconds left to play. As the Braves have come back to make up an 18-point difference in this second half.
NBA basketball.
Welcome back to the NBA's greatest game.
With Jerry West and Sonny Hill, this is Don Trickey back at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. The 76er fans after the timeout were up. Standing ovation, exhorting their team to get back after it. They are now down to Buffalo by 5. The Braves leading 107-102. Buffalo trailing by 13 in the third quarter. An 18-point turnaround now in the second half. McAdoo holds the ball, loses it, picked off by Harvey Catchings, up to Collins against Smith. Randy Smith got a piece of the ball. He was burned the last time, and Ken Charles took down the rebound. Jim McMillan gets it back outside. Ken Charles from downtown Philadelphia, but Shoemake gets the rebound. Hey, I don't know what Charles said. Jack Ramsey just called over Kenny Charles and said, hey, partner.
Big play by Randy Smith on the other end. This guy's got great leaping ability. Really just jumps inside of the offensive player.
McAdoo, Buffalo still gunning away. They're not going to let up even though they've got the lead. Time is running out. A foul call. It's going to go against McAdoo. He fouled McGinnis on the loose ball. Buffalo's not playing very smart basketball this game.
They haven't had in the last 4 shots a good shot. I think with Jimmy McMillan in there, they could get the ball inside real deep to him. And if he's not open, he can get the ball to McAdoo, and they haven't done it for a while yet. But the one advantage that Philadelphia has now, they can still stay in this ball game by the free throw line. They just haven't shot the ball well. I think the reason they lost their momentum in this ball game is there's just simply too much dribbling, too much standing around.
In a game of stark contrast, 76ers took command in the second quarter, moved out to a 9-point halftime lead. They open it up to 13 points in the third quarter. And then Buffalo find a combination that worked. They've had to have McMillan in this game to stabilize this team. They've rallied back to where they now lead by 5, but that'll be cut very shortly as George McGinnis is the free throw line, and the penalty shot is in effect, has been since 8:30 left to play in the fourth quarter. Backcourt foul. They'll have 3 chances to make 2.
It was a loose ball foul in the backcourt. He only had 2 chances, Don. John Shoemate has really done a great job on the backboard for the Braves. He's also given them 19 big points in this game.
Ken Charles has the ball. Shoemate coming out of a hospital bed to score 19 points and all those rebounds. Done a lot of work inside. Down low to Shoemate. McGinnis pushed him. Nobody caught it. Shoemate puts it up. Intercepted by Randy Smith. 2:19 to go. McAdoo fires it up. Buffalo is incredible. They're firing the ball up when they're trying to protect the lead with Aaron. Futile shot. Instead now Ramsey's up screaming at his team to settle it down. Whoa!
This is a time you really need a guard to take over out there.
Foul on McGinnis. He's out of the game. George McGinnis trying to reach in and get the ball as Cates Locke, the assistant to Jack Ramsey.
Boy, McGinnis did not use very good judgment on that particular foul. That was not a good foul by George McGinnis. Not a time to lose him in this ball game.
Well, by the same token, they have to make every last-ditch effort to get the ball.
That's right.
2:02 to play. Buffalo has a 4-point lead, but Shoemate's at the free throw line.
Don, with 2 minutes left to play in the NBA, you're going to get the ball back an awful lot of times. You don't want to put the guy to the free throw line to have a chance to make 2 shots.
Well, since you scored 29,000 points, I'll bow to your judgment.
But also took a lot of shots to get that.
Hey, you can wear out a right hand doing that. Putting 29,000 in. 107 to 103. Philadelphia down by 4, but the 76ers had the ball. Collins driving, puts it up. And a foul is called on Buffalo. Randy Smith picks up his fourth personal foul. Now they're signaling his 5th.
I'd really like to see that last play. Here's Doug Collins making the move inside. Looks like to me that if anyone fouled him, Jimmy McMillan fouled him.
John Shoemate now leaves the game for the Buffalo Braves. Shoemate scored 19 points while he was in, could very well be back. McAdoo has 28. Randy Smith, 24. Jim McMillan, 25. A 2-point game. Randy Smith brings it all up court. They're standing and stomping and cheering here in Philadelphia, trying to rattle Buffalo. 1:40 left to go. The Braves lead by 2. McAdoo has the ball knocked away. 8 seconds on the shot clock. McAdoo puts it up. He does not get the roll. Fight for the ball, and McAdoo comes out of the huddle with it. Gives to Randy Smith a double team. Over to Ken Charles. 1:24 to go. Collins harassing, looking for the ball, doing everything he possibly can. Reject. McAdoo sets it down. Could be the game. 1:16 to go. Gene Shue up, screaming at his team that he wants a timeout with 1:13 to go. Watch this last big score. Charles. McAdoo gets the block shot and rams it. We're heading into the final minute where it's all at in the NBA playoffs as the Buffalo Braves have a 4-point lead, 109 to 105. Steve Nicks will inbound the ball. Jerry West, what's going to happen?
Well, they're going to try to run a good Alabama player and free someone for a shot. I would imagine Doug Collins on this particular play. But the thing that Buffalo doesn't want to do, they don't want to foul. No fouls at this stage of the ball game.
Got to be going to Carter or Collins. What do you think?
Well, I really think Collins will have a chance to go to the free throw line. He will drive. He might have a chance to make a 3-point play. And Carter, they seem to be the 2 best shooters on the floor at this time.
Doug Collins shut off with a pass, takes it to the basket, feeds off to Lloyd Free. Way up off the glass, Lloyd Free gets it. A 2-point game, and Lloyd Free's going to press. Randy Smith, look at him. My, it's unbelievable the physical abilities of Randy Smith and Doug Collins. They're like ghosts out there.
They've really been going at each other. Here's the time of the basketball game where you see a great player.
Ken Charles puts a man in the air, puts the shot up, does not get the roll. Tapped out Collins. It could be tied if Collins can hit here. Doug Collins ties the game. 41 seconds to go. It's tied at 109. And the Buffalo Braves call a timeout. Here comes Doug Collins down the floor, firing in the 22-foot jump shot that ties the game for the 76ers. 41 seconds to go. Tied up. They go to McAdoo. Harassing the ball. A lot of time left on the shot clock. 15 seconds. Buffalo will play it down and play it down. Down low to Shoemate against Clyde Lee. Shoemate puts it up. Basket is disallowed. A foul on Shoemate. 28 seconds left. Shoemate pushed him. Official Jake O'Donnell right on top of the play.
Big call by the official. That takes a lot of guts for an official to call that, but a very obvious play. Now I think what you can look for is, again, Doug Collins to handle the basketball. He has the ability to drive, the ability to shoot it outside. He might create something for himself or for another member of the 76er ball club.
Randy Smith is fronting Collins. He's playing down low. Doug Collins to the left side as Carter dribbles the ball. Shot clock winding down. 4 seconds on it. Carter forces a shot. Gets it. Buffalo calls timeout with 6 seconds left. The Buffalo Braves call a timeout with 6 seconds left as the Spectrum has gone wild. Unbelievable game. Fred Carter has hit 5 shots at the buzzer this year that have won games. This one came with 6 seconds to go, and it is right on time.
I tell you, the people in Philadelphia are mighty happy right now, but we have 6 seconds left to go in this ball game, and don't count Buffalo out.
The Buffalo Braves huddle now the Philadelphia 76ers. If they just come back, rallied back in the closing seconds of the game from 4 points down, they have a 2-point lead. 1:24 to go. They were down by 4 points. And now with 6 seconds to go, they're up by 2, and Buffalo will have a last-ditch effort to tie the game and possibly send it into overtime.
Don, if anyone's ever seen a basketball game or not a basketball fan, this game today would make anyone a basketball fan. It's a sensational game. Buffalo's got a chance to win it or tie it here right now and take this game into overtime.
What do you do here now, Jerry, if you're Buffalo?
You got to get a good, quick shot and have a chance, maybe if you miss the shot, to rebound it. McAdoo or McMillan's going to take this shot, I think.
They're standing here in Philadelphia. 6 seconds to go. Charles looks inbound, throws it to McAdoo. The clock has started. McAdoo drives to the baseline, puts the ball up, puts it up again. There's a foul call. McAdoo will go to the free throw line with 3 chances to make 2. 1 second on the clock. It looks if McAdoo can hit 2 out of 3, we'll go to OT. Unbelievable game. Watch McAdoo drive. Gets his own rebound, and he might have been. It is Clyde Lee who's charged with a foul.
Boy, Don, it's awful tough to call a foul in a situation like that, but these officials, you really have to give them credit. They've hung in there, a tough ball game to call, and they've really done a fine job today.
McAdoo, normally a very good free throw shooter, had his troubles this year. His free throw percentages dropped way off. He's only got 2 shots, 1 on the penalty. It was not on a foul. He gets 1. McAdoo now gets the penalty shot. You believe all this?
It's an unbelievable ball game. You think Bob McAdoo's pants are shaking a little bit now?
Hey, if he stopped and thought about all this, he'd faint. He gets them both. The game is tied. We'll go into overtime. But there's 1 second before we do. If the Sixers can get a wild shot off and hit it, they could conceivably.
They could almost have 2 seconds on this clock. Because if the clock will tick off, it's barely ticked off, you'd still have almost 2 seconds. So maybe a little bit more time than you think.
Well, Bob McAdoo goes to the line. He was not fouled in the act of shooting by Clyde Lee. He got it when he took down the rebound, so it was a 1 penalty. And he had to hit the first and then the second to tie the game, which, as you saw, he did with 1 second to go. And now, the Buffalo Braves and Jack Ramsey talk it over. What do you say here?
The one thing you tell the Buffalo Braves team, don't foul anyone. I don't care where you shoot the ball from. And the thing for the Philadelphia 76ers is to run a good play and try to free somebody for a very, very quick shot. Otherwise, the time is gone.
Or else maybe they loop it down real low and try to draw a foul inside.
Well, but they really don't have anyone that big inside. If you had a man like a Jabbar, a man like a McAdoo, or someone with enormous size in there and great jumping ability, you can afford to loop it inside. But you want to get a shot. That's the most important thing.
So we come down to the final second of the final game for one of these two teams. 85 games after the NBA season began for the 76ers and the Buffalo Braves. It all comes down to this final second. Quite possibly, if nothing happens for the 76ers in it, another 5 minutes of overtime play. You can't say whoever goes out didn't go out without a gunfight.
None of these guys want to quit now, Don. It's an unbelievable ball game. These guys giving tremendous effort. It's a shame that either team has to lose this game.
I bet they fire it down low to Catchings. He's just standing there. He never gets the ball, but inbounds to Lloyd Free. Shot at the buzzer is up, and no good. Lloyd Free fell down. Trying to draw a foul. Nobody touched him. Man, he's so cool. Looks over at Free and says, hey, come on. So we're going to go into overtime here at Philadelphia. That's how it stands after 48 minutes of basketball, 1-11 all.
Welcome back to the NBA's greatest game.
Don't you love all this? We're going into overtime at Philadelphia. 1-11, and now 5 minutes goes up on the clock after Lloyd Free shot with 1 second left. Doesn't get there.
Don, in this overtime, some of these for a long time, and 5 minutes more is not going to seem very much to these guys. They really have put a tremendous effort in this ball game today, and it's just remarkable that these guys could play as many games they played this year and give this kind of effort this late in the season.
That's an interesting observation. You don't think that the 5 minutes will affect them. They're not just worn to a frazzle.
Absolutely not.
Of course, McGinnis has fouled out of the game, fouled out with 15 points and 15 rebounds. Buffalo gets the tip. McAdoo's been their big gun, 31 points. He's really gotten hot in the second half. Down low to Shoemate. Don Shoemate puts it up, and Buffalo takes the overtime lead. 113 to 111. John Shoemate has now scored 21 points for Buffalo. McMillan has 25.
Another interesting matchup this stage of the ball game. Jimmy McMillan covering Dub Collins, and both ends of the court could be very interesting for both players.
And McMillan has 5 personal fouls. Gunshot. No good. Look what he got here. Jim McMillan just fouled out. Jim McMillan is going to get the 6th foul flag. There it is. Sayonara to Buffalo's captain. Played a great basketball game. Jim McMillan with 25 points. Fouls out of the game.
It's going to put a lot of pressure on Bob McAdoo and Randy Smith to get the points, but John Shoemate inside very quietly has picked up about 21 points in this ball game. Played a very strong game for him inside.
Randy Smith with 24, McAdoo with 31, Shoemate with 21, and McMillan now out with 25. For the 76ers, McGinnis out with 15 points. Nix has scored 16. Doug Collins has hit 23. Mad Dog Carter. Freddie Carter has 28 points. Bryant has 9. Lloyd Free 10. Clyde lead 2. And here comes Dick Gibbs in the game.
It's a tough position for Dick Gibbs to come in the ball game. He's only played about a minute in this ball game, and he has to be very cold. But they're going to put him in to try to cover Doug Collins.
Shadow couldn't cover Doug Collins. Doug Collins drills it, ties the game. 25 points for Collins, and the game is again tied at 113. We are in overtime here at Philadelphia. A game that will decide which team goes against the Celtics in best of 7, with the loser to see their season end today. And Charles puts fakes on, drives inside, puts the shot up, and draws a foul. Kenny Charles draws a foul, might be on Collins. It is, it's only his 3rd though. On a personal foul sheet, Shoemate has 5, McAdoo has just 3, Smith has 3, Charles is playing with 5, Weiss and Adams with 4, not in the game for Philadelphia. Collins has 3, Bryant and McGinnis have fouled out. The Pistons and the Milwaukee Bucks have tipped off their 3rd and deciding game at Milwaukee. Will be joining that as soon as this one's over. Which might not be this evening. You never know. These overtimes can go on and on. Smith steals the ball. And he was fouled in the backcourt. Lloyd Free is called for the personal foul. And Randy Smith fouled in the backcourt will shoot 2.
Dick Gibbs, who was put in the ball game as Jimmy McMillan's replacement, made a key defensive play. He snaked the ball away from Freddie Carter, reaching from behind him. Randy Smith got a chance to put Buffalo up by 4.
There you see Lloyd Free took a diving attempt at the ball and got Randy Smith. Buffalo with a 3-point lead now, 116 to 113. 3:37 left to play in overtime. Going to get the inhaler in for Westonized. Missed the second. Harvey Catchings had that head of his up at the rim.
Harvey Catchings, a tremendous leaper. Young player, he's going to get better.
Teammate almost took it away. Here's Steve Nicks down low. An overmatch as he's up against Randy Smith. Lloyd Free with the ball, the rookie out of Guilford College. He'd be a senior in college this year, signed after his junior year. Driving the baseline, blocked by McAdoo. No foul. Shoemate with the ball goes to Smith. Up court to Charles. And Buffalo's going to set it down. I think Ramsey's made that point stick now.
Now's the time for them to run a real good play, run some time off the clock, maybe get Philadelphia in a foul problem. The
Shoemate all
inside.
alone, and Buffalo goes up by 5 points. Gene Shue says, let's stop this right now and talk it over. Watch McAdoo a moment ago as he blocked Lloyd Free's shot. Buffalo comes back to the other end. Gibbs sets the ball in. This is videotape replay. Down low they go to Shoemate, left free, and easily off the glass to give Buffalo a 5-point advantage. And the 76ers have called a timeout, and there's Gene Shue. Let's go back out to Milwaukee now for another update there.
Don and Jerry, we are just underway in the Milwaukee Arena in the showdown game between the Detroit Pistons and the Milwaukee Bucks. Right now, Chris Ford has just stolen the ball from the Bucks. It is 4-2, Detroit with the lead. The big guy, Bob Lanier, has picked up 1 foul. Again, we're just underway, 9:55. Here is Al Eberhard, back to Chris Ford. Gary Brokaw, who's been red hot, gives him up to Brian Winters, and here comes Lanier. Lanier moves up with a shot off the glass, and now let's go back to Don Criqui and Jerry Weston, Philadelphia.
Thank you, Brent. Back here by George, we have got some basketball game. It is in overtime, 2:52 left to play. A basketball game that saw the Buffalo Braves and the Philadelphia 76ers tied 32-32 at the end of the first quarter. At the half, with great team play in the second quarter, Philadelphia built up a 9-point lead. They quickly opened up a 13-point advantage in the third quarter. And then Buffalo rallied back. At the end of the third quarter, Philadelphia's lead was just 2 points, 89-87. Then Buffalo came from behind, took a 5-point lead in the fourth quarter. Philadelphia rallied back. Doug Collins hit a shot, and then with 1 second to go after Philadelphia taking a 2-point lead, Bob McAdoo hit the 1-and penalty to tie the game at 1:11. Now we're in overtime, and Buffalo has been dominant so far, but still we have 2:50 to play in the game, and Philadelphia has the ball.
A lot of time to go, but Philadelphia's going to have to score this time down.
They really feel they have to get a hoop here.
That's right.
They go to the race. Doug Collins. Too much on it. McAdoo gets the rebound. And Buffalo quietly brings it up the floor. Philadelphia is not pressing on defense as they did. They're giving Randy Smith time to bring it up at his leisure. Tell you, when he's not at his leisure, the guy looks like a blue darter out there.
You can imagine when he's going full blast.
Yeah. He can run 40 miles an hour. They say the only thing in Buffalo faster than Randy Smith are Bob McAdoo's 3 Afghans.
That was a crucial turnover down there for Buffalo, and now Philadelphia again has a chance to get back in this ball game.
118 to 113. Buffalo did not get a shot off within the allotted 24 seconds. 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes. Here's a foul on Dick Gibbs.
121.
Dick Gibbs gets the personal foul. He's about the only guy out there without a problem now. It's only a second. They bring the ball inbounds. It is 118 to 113. Buffalo with a 5-point lead in overtime. 1:50 left to play in the overtime. Fred Carter, who's been tough on the outside, working the ball in against Dick Gibbs. Carter wants to put something up. He does, draws a foul. And Fred Carter came down hard on his hip. But he's a tough customer. You couldn't hurt him with a hammer.
But what's really happening now to Philadelphia's offense? If you look, Fred Carter's dribbling the ball, and you can see the whole court, every member of Philadelphia's team standing watching. They got to get movement in this situation. Too much dribbling, and it's just killed them late in this ball game.
What would you do now if you were coaching the 76ers? What would you do if you're on the floor now, controlling this offense?
What I would like to see happen is to try to run some quick screens, either away from the ball, have the center come out high, set a screen, try to run something away from the ball, maybe to free a Doug Collins because he likes to play with the ball. If that's not open, then Carter can come off the screen and take the shot. If they're doing it just simply one-on-one, and you get no body movement that way. Also, you get very, very poor rebounding position.
Want to give special thanks today to our very fine team in the truck, our producer, Tom O'Neill, our director, John McDonough Jr., our associate producer, Bob Stetter, Bob Dunphy, editing tape, Bill Barnes. Takes a lot of people to put one of these on.
It really does, and when they get it on the air and you see a ball game like this, it's all so well worthwhile.
Fred Carter is at the free throw line with 1:45 left to go. 118 to 115. He gets them both, and the Buffalo lead is cut to 3. We're in overtime. On the scoreboard clock here at the Spectrum, the defense sign starts blinking on as the 76ers fans pick up the chant. Jerry?
You know, Don, in situations like this, you have a lot of basketball players that don't even want to touch the basketball in games like this.
Going to come inbounds to the 76ers. Randy Smith protesting, but not too much. Doesn't take long for that T made. Make that T sign real quick.
Every call now is crucial. Every play is crucial. There's so much time left for Philadelphia to get the lead in this ball game. Buffalo just has to take better care of the ball, and they have to get a good shot. Philadelphia has to do the very same thing.
118 to 115. Buffalo with a 3-point lead. The 76ers with the ball. They lost the first game of this best-of-3 series in their home court Thursday night. Then one on Buffalo scored Friday night. Fred Carter, Catchings gets the rebound. Ken Charles tips it away. Lots of guys dive for the ball, and who gets it? A loose ball foul is signaled, and Fred Carter is holding an ankle. There's a guy down for Buffalo out there. It looks like the big guy, McAdoo. Bob McAdoo is down, but I'll guarantee you he will be up like a greyhound. And Fred Carter's got an ankle problem. He's got... See what happens here now.
I guarantee you with 2 free throws, Freddie Carter has no ankle problem. He'll be up there at the free throw line. They can't get him out of this ball game.
I tell you, if Buffalo wins it, they've done it the hard way, and certainly if Philadelphia wins it, they've done it the hard way. Buffalo's had the lead and has not been able to hold on. The 76ers have kept falling behind and rallying back, and now they can come to within 1 if Fred Carter can hit the shot and the penalty shot. Fred Carter with 30 points and 31. It's a 2-point game. In a moment, it could be a 1-point game. Fred Carter gets them both for the 76ers. 1 minute left to go in the overtime. 1 minute. 118 to 117 is the count. Randy Smith brings the ball up court against Fred Carter. Dancing, jiving. He's going to take a shot. Oh! He threw in a prayer with 50 seconds left to go.
Don, it looks like when one team is going to make a move, the other team comes back and makes a very, very difficult shot. I don't know about these players, but I'm kind of emotionally worn out.
Tell you. One more overtime to carry me out of here. Fred Carter puts it up. Tapped up and in by Steve Mix. McAdoo is knocked to the floor, but no foul is called. Let's watch Steve Mix on the replay. Big play for Philadelphia. The 76ers are again back to within 1. And Buffalo calls timeout with 28 seconds to play. 28 seconds to go and 17 seconds on the shot clock. So again, even in the overtime, even now into the 53rd minute of basketball in this game, we're going to come right down to the final second again. We got the OT going here at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. 27 seconds on the overtime clock, 17 seconds on the shot clock for Buffalo, and the Braves with a 1-point lead. Randy Smith with the ball. They set a double post down low. Shoemate and Adams. They go to McAdoo one-on-one with Catchings. He takes it inside. Foul on the play, and Big Mac will go to the free throw line with 17 seconds on the game clock.
Don, do you think Buffalo knows where their big man is? Every time they've got in trouble, he's given them something. He made the basket that put them back in the ball game, made 2 clutch free throws. Here he is fouled on the drive to the basket. Unbelievable
The big fellow
player.
from Greensboro, North Carolina, went to Vincennes Junior College in Indiana for 2 years. One of the great junior college basketball teams in the country. Then to North Carolina, Chapel Hill. Played there 1 year, signed as a hardship with Buffalo. McAdoo has put in 32 points. Teammate John Shoemate has 23. They thought he'd be in a hospital today, but he got out of that hospital bed. Jim McMillan fouled out, the captain of the Braves, with 25, and McAdoo has 22 rebounds. Oh, the Big Mac is so tough when the heat is on. 121 to 119. He can give Buffalo a 3-point advantage here. Look what he did.
Somebody's moving a basket underneath.
The woman shook the basket. Tried to give Mac a moving target.
You know, when he made the 2 free throws to tie the game, somebody moved the basket, too.
That looks like that old Harlem Globetrotter thing where the guy fakes this free throw and everybody jumps. Big Mac stuck it out there.
Not very funny to that man, Jack Ramsey, nor Bob McAdoo. That's the second time it's happened, and the players have all complained about it.
That could be it. Going to be awful touch for the 76ers to catch Buffalo now, a 3-point lead with 17 seconds left, but they have come back, and now they call a timeout with 17 seconds on the game clock in overtime. The Buffalo Braves possibly winning for a second time on the away court in the best-of-3 series. The odds against that astronomical. They played the 76ers here 4 times in the regular season, lost all 4. And now in the playoffs when they had to win, they won 1 game here, the only other one they played, and they could very well win this one. The odds are on it. The Buffalo will.
Don, the reason that happens, I think, in playoffs, and particularly when you have teams that are not maybe the top 2 teams in the league, usually these other teams have defensive problems, and Philadelphia, one of the problems all year long has been their defense, and when you give up 122 points, even though the game is in overtime, you're going to have a chance to get beat.
Jerry, in 14 years in the NBA, you played in I don't know how many 7th games of championship series, and we've talked about this before in different games, just the whole tenor of the crowd, the whole aura of NBA playoff basketball. The press is up, the fans are up. It really is a second and new season.
Don, you tell yourself, boy, I'm so glad that other season was over with. I'm tired, I'm worn out. You get 1 day's rest, and you go right back at these guys, and you just seems like you found a new body to take you through the playoffs with. And it is remarkable that these guys can play as hard as they have and then come in the playoffs and give an effort like this right on through the playoffs.
Boy, it is. I'll tell you. More than I can handle sitting here.
Philadelphia again now. They need another quick shot here, and then they're going to have to put on the press and try to steal the ball.
They're going to Lloyd Free. He drives in. Tripped. He was... Randy Smith looks at like, who, me? In the other game, we'll watch this replay first. Whoops, little foot ski.
That's allowed in outdoor basketball, not in the NBA. But that's the one thing you don't want to do when you got a close ball. You just don't want to foul, and Buffalo put themselves in a precarious position again by fouling. You have a chance to set up your press here in this situation.
One more shot.
One more shot, says Jake O'Donnell, working the game with Manny Sokol. Hey, John Nucatola and Commissioner Larry O'Brien, all the people in the NBA office must be awful pleased with the way this game and the officiating and everything about it has gone. It's been some NBA showcase.